the friendly that was behind closed doors against MK Dons. You can call it that other game that you can count as the third. But the official game that Arsenal is going to hit to play, it is one against Girona. Arsenal beat Girona by 4-1. Kai Havertz on target, Tzolis on target. Who else was on target? Gabriel Jesus and who? Kai Havertz, Tzolis, Max Dauman, and Gabriel Jesus. We are on target. Now, Real Betis is the team that went ahead to buy Anthony from the club of Manchester United. Now, if you're an Arsenal fan, you will understand that Anthony's debut for Man United happened when Arsenal was playing against a team known as Man United at Old Trafford. And if you remember very well, it's Anton Santos that scored first in that game. Jadon Sancho laid the ball to him, and obviously Anton Santos went ahead to obviously bury that ball into the right bottom corner, and it went past Aaron Ramsdale, and it was 1-0 for the club of Man United. And you remember that game went ahead to end by 3-1. I think it was Saka who went ahead to level up on the game, but Marcus Rashford went ahead to score more 2 goals to see to it that he buried, was it Bruno Fernandes? I think it was Marcus Rashford who scored a brace against Arsenal at Old Trafford. That game ended 3-1 in favor of Man United, but Arsenal played one of their best games under Mikel Arteta. Zinchenko, Jesus, Xhaka, Partey, Odegaard, they were all over the place and they are creating in chances. And the reason as to why Arsenal went ahead to lose that game of football, it was because of the bench. You remember, the bench, there came in Nketiah, Emily Smith-Rowe, Reece Nelson, and Fabio Vieira. Those are the players that he got off the bench. And Eric Ten Hag was getting Cristiano Ronaldo from the bench to obviously come on and obviously change the game of football. So a lot was in favor for the club of Man United. And after years later, you've gone ahead to see to it that the club of Arsenal has gone ahead to fix its bench. And today, they've gone ahead to get a here we go of a player known as Bruno Guimaraes. Now, when you go to Arsenal, the following players are out. And Rice, Noni Madueke, Bukayo Saka, Ebelechi Eze are returning this weekend. Right. They're returning this weekend at the club of Arsenal to start training with them in there for you. So they might feature in the game against Como. Right. But for Julian Timber, still injured. That is it. But the rest of the players, I think, and Martin Odegaard. So we wait to see how things will pan out. Martin Odegaard, Julian Timber, Rice, Eze, Bukayo Saka, and Noni Madueke, all those are out. But the rest of the players are readily available to obviously take center stage into this. You understand? So that is Arsenal for you. Now, let's go to Real Betis and see who are they not having in this particular encounter. The following players for Real Betis are really out. Now, they do have Diego Llorente. He came off when they are playing against he came off, I think, and is nursing a serious issue. Then Giovanni Lo Celso out because of the World Cup. Rubio is having an injury. Diego Conde, shoulder injury. Abdi is having an injury. And Real Madrid ex-player Isco but Isco is available because he played his first preseason game against Almeria and is a candidate to start today. So you might see Isco in this particular encounter as Arsenal takes on this guy. Now, ex-Arsenal fullback Hector Bellerin is in line for a reunion with his former employees. So Hector Bellerin plays for Real Betis. So we anticipate him to show up into this particular game of football. That is Hector Bellerin. Now, let's get to the probable starting 11 for the club of Arsenal, right? And the system 4-3-3 And you obviously know that in goal it was Kepa Arrizabalaga. Melie never got a chance. I don't know whether this time around is Melie, but let me go with Kepa Arrizabalaga to come in through and obviously start for the club of Arsenal. Right back, I'm seeing Benjamin White. Left back, I'm seeing Hinkapie. Left-sided centre back, Gabriel Magalhaes. Gabriel Magalhaes is going to be coming in through to obviously get in some 30 minutes. As you saw what the manager did to Kai Havertz, Gyökeres, and Pierre Hinkapie. You get. So, Gabriel Magalhaes is a candidate to play those few minutes, and I think later you'll see Ricardo Carafiori come on. Then we have Mosquera playing as a right-sided centre-back there for you, and he might go in for some full 90 minutes this time around. Now, in the midfield, Miles Lewis-Kelly, who is a candidate that United want to sign, is going to be played as a single pivot, right? Then Kai Havertz and Ethan Nwaneri will come in through to do the needful for this particular encounter for the club of Arsenal. In there, right forward, we'll have to see Max Dorman, who had an assist and a goal. To me, he was the man of the match. Though they gave it to Kai Havertz, I was like, why give it to Kai Havertz? Left forward, Tzolis will come in through to obviously do the needful, getting a goal in that particular encounter. Victor Gyökeres will come up and obviously lead the line for the club of Arsenal. So that's how I think the club of Arsenal will line up in that particular encounter as they take on a side known as Rio Betis. Now, Kai Havertz, Hinkapie, Gyökeres played like I think 30 minutes and they are taken off. I think this time around they'll proceed to play like 60 minutes today in there for you. And I anticipate that Gabriel Magalhaes and Gabriel Martinelli will also play some few minutes, like 30, into this particular encounter. So we wait and see how things are really going to be panning out for the club of Arsenal. But that is the probable starting 11 for the club of Arsenal in this particular encounter that is going to be played in Aviva Stadium in Dublin. When we get to the side of Rio Betis, Gonzalez in goal, Hector Bellerin right back, F. Garcia left back, Nathan and Gomez in the central defense, Roca, Benel, right, in the double pivot, Isco playing as a number 10, Anthony right attacking midfielder, Fornells in the midfield, and Hernandez will be leading the line for the side of Rio Betis in there for you. So, second Arsenal game. And I think my worry is still that will Arsenal be fit enough by the time they play their first Premier League game? I think they came in late a little bit, and I think the manager wanted his players to have some ample resting because of what they had in the World Cup and the season they had, because it was a long season for Arsenal. Playing up to the Champions League final, is not the same, I tell you. So they had to rest, but the fitness levels will be tested when they're playing against Borussia Dortmund. The team they're going to play, this is Girona, I think has just going to play one game. But in the midweek, they'll have to play Borussia Dortmund. Now, for Borussia Dortmund, they've gone ahead to obviously play 1, 2, 3 games. They played 1, 2, 3, 4. So they've played 4 games. And they're playing their 5th game against Arsenal. Arsenal will be having 2 games played. Dortmund is having those number of games. So Arsenal will be playing its 3rd game and will be testing their fitness levels. But this time around, we will be looking at how Arsenal will be looking at this particular encounter. That is it. So my prediction for this game is 3-1 for the club of Arsenal. That is it. That's my prediction for this particular encounter. But Ibrahim, I just can't wait to see him come off the bench to obviously show us exactly what he really had in there for you. And obviously Max Dorman, as I told you last time, that I want to see him impose himself more onto this game, sending a message to Bukayo Saka and Noni Madueke, who are returning this weekend, that this position is mine. And by the way, if he pushes like that, he has a chance to start in the Community Shield. He has a chance to start in the opening game of Arsenal. That is Max Dorman. That is it, because I would want him to obviously push to get straight to the starting 11 for the club of Arsenal, as he's really good and better. And I think the way he starts the season and the way he ends his preseason are really going to be very important into what Arsenal think he's supposed to be. So, as it stands, a man known as Max Dorman is here to start today, and I would be gladdened to see what he puts up on the field of play. You understand? So that is Max Dorman for you, and I don't have a lot of things to say in here. It was a short video that I thought is supposed to be streamed live in here as you tell me your predictions. And many of you have gone ahead to predict in here. And let me end this poll and see what you guys are really having in here. 100% win for the club of Arsenal. That's what you guys have gone ahead to call in for. So who am I not to say that it's obviously going to be like that? I'm also calling in for a 3-1 win for the club of Arsenal. And we wait to see how things really pan out. Rokani David is my name.